To be joined by our friend Brittany Kaiser with St. Louis Children's Safety Stop. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And welcome back to My Mom Club.
Thank you.
Today we are focusing on sleep safety. So let's kind of start with the super little ones and then progress to a little bit older.
Yeah.
So we have the newborns.
Yes.
What should we keep in mind about sleep safety for newborns?
So the important things for that is the A, B, C, Ds. That's what we want parents to remember. Okay. So A being always alone, B being on their back, C in a crib, and D do not smoke. So when we kind of break those down, the alone is truly alone. We don't want them with another adult. We don't want them with a sibling or even a pet. They need to be in their own safe sleep space on a firm, flat area. That's going to be the safest way for them, so there's no danger of suffocation or entrapment, layover, rollover, and wedging. Those things can be really dangerous and cause loss of life. So they need to be alone. That's how they're going to be the safest. Then we talk about B, always on their back. So never on their side, never on their belly. Babies sleep better on their back. They do better on their back. There's much less risk of suffocation, less risk of choking, and a much less risk of sudden infant death syndrome. When we see those babies on their sides and on their bellies, there's not only a greater risk of suffocation and choking, but it really spikes the risk of succumb to sudden infant death syndrome. And then when we look at the C, we say crib because it goes well with the C, but it can be a bassinet, it can be a pack and play, it can be a cribette like this. As long as it is their own safe sleep space, then that's fine. And it does need to be free of all kinds of other things. The pacifier is okay, sleeping in like a swaddle or a wearable blanket is fine, but none of the other things like we have back here.
And what are some of these things?
Yes, so
we talked about the do's, we have a lot of don'ts.
Well, there's a lot of don'ts. There's a lot of don'ts. So these are called like safe sleep. They're not called safe sleep. They're called wedgers. So they're inclined wedgers, and they can be used to like wedge a child to sit on their side when they're asleep. Very, very dangerous. We don't want these. You don't see these much anymore.
I hadn't even heard of those.
Right. They can be around at like resale shops and stuff, so we still like to tell people don't use them. They're very, very dangerous.
Okay.
Stuffed animals, super, super cute.
Right. On a shelf.
On a shelf. On a shelf, on their playmat. Never in their safe sleep space.
Okay.
These can cause issues with suffocation, entrapment, things like that. And then the blankets. Very, very soft, very cute, great for tummy times, being on the floor, not so much in their sleep space. This suffocation's so easy. Infants are nose breathers, so they're breathing out of their tiny little nostrils, and something like this can easily cause them to suffocate. So that's why we say the swaddle or wearable blanket. It is important to note that when they do start showing signs of rolling over, take them out of that swaddle. Their arms need to be out, like this baby here. They shouldn't be in, because then they won't be able to roll back over if they do roll in their sleep.
Good advice.
Crib bumpers, which we really shouldn't see much of these anymore because there was a Safe Sleep Act passed where these aren't even legal to sell, but they are still out there. Crib bumpers are really dangerous. The same idea, the suffocation can be a big issue with those. Pillows, none of those in the crib. They don't need them. They're on their backs. They're just fine. Boppies, great for like tummy time and helping you nurse, not great for sleep. Anything like this or putting like a DockATot under them can really cause issues and loss of life because we can see suffocation and rollover, entrapment, those types of things.
So that's for the little ones. Let's talk about toddlers. Once babies hit about 1, are there other things we can introduce?
Yeah, so when after their first birthday, you can introduce a lightweight blanket or a stuffed animal into the crib.
Okay, just 1 or so?
You could, yeah. I wouldn't line the crib with stuffed animals at that point. I would say a stuffed animal and a lightweight blanket can be introduced then. And you know, they sell sleep sacks. If you're not comfortable with that or not ready for that yet, please continue to use a wearable blanket. I have a 2-year-old foster brother who's still in his, so I mean, there are sizes that go up to fit larger kids too.
Good, because my son is well beyond 1 and he's still in his, because I'm just more comfortable with that.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's good to know. I mentioned in the intro how much in the summer you like to do sleepovers, maybe sleep in your sister's bed or something. That was always something special for me. You mentioned no co-sleeping, of course, for this age.
Yes.
When can you do that within reason?
Yeah, so there isn't like a hard age that we say, okay, this is the golden age that they can, you know, co-sleep or bed share and be safe. We do know that once they're past their first birthday, toddlers bed sharing is a less likely risk of suffocation. However, there is no hard and fast age. The only reason they say that is because they're more likely to be able to wiggle free out of an unsafe scenario. It's still not necessarily safe, so we would prefer you wait until they're older.
Okay, good advice. So this summer, sleep well as long as you are following all these tips. Brittany, thank you.
Yes, of course.
And of course, we are always looking for topics to explore on My Mom Club. You can send them to me at laura.hediger@firstalertfor.com.